So the Tottenham team news today for the Manchester City match. Tottenham are still without Dele Alli. Of course, he missed last week's game. Hopefully, he will be back soon. Ryan Sessegnon is still out injured with a hamstring injury. Of course, he signed from Fulham, still had this injury and it's just been ongoing. So hopefully, he will be back very soon. Tottenham are still without the suspended Heung-min Son. This is his last game of his suspension, so he will be back for the Newcastle home game next week. Juan Foyth, exactly the same. He is out suspended. It's his last game out suspended, but he is also injured, expected to be out injured until late September. Ben Davies is near fitness now, but Giovanni Lo Celso has actually been involved in training all week. He could be on the bench today. I would really love to see him make his debut and really make an impact today, so let's hope that happens. Team news for Manchester City today. Fernandinho could be back for his first game of the season for Manchester City. Benjamin Mendy is out and Leroy Sané is also out with a long-term injury. An interesting fact here, Manchester City have not lost a competitive match since they played Spurs. 1-0 Heung-min Son goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and then of course Tottenham lost to Manchester City 4-3, but went through on away goals in the Champions League quarter-final. If you need me to tell you any of that, where were you? What a night that was. One of the best nights of my life supporting Tottenham. An incredible moment. All I just think of when I think of the Etihad Stadium now is Fernando Llorente scoring that goal for Tottenham, which ultimately put us through to the semi-finals against Ajax. But what a night that was. A couple of days later, last season, we actually played them in the league where it was a 1-0 defeat. Manchester City won 1-0 with a Foden goal. But Tottenham created a lot of chances that day, and it could have been very, very different. But Manchester City are so strong. We know how strong they are. They've got an exceptional team. They've got an exceptional bench. And that, for me, is the real difference. The people that they can bring off the bench. A lot of their players on the bench would get into most Premier League teams. So I think that will be the difference today. If they need to unlock our defence and do something special, then it might even come off the bench. But I hope that Tottenham have got enough today to get at least a point today. We really do need something from the game. My prediction today is 2-2. Now, ahead of this game, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola gave Tottenham some very, very nice comments. He actually said they're the second best team in Europe. Since I came here to England, they've been a real contender every season. The first season they finished second, they've always been there or thereabouts. And he fully expects Tottenham to be in the Premier League race for this season. So some key facts on today's game. Manchester City are going to try and win 5 consecutive league games against Spurs for the first time ever in their history. And Tottenham have taken just 4 points from their last 9 Premier League visits to the Etihad Stadium. Tottenham only winning once, 1 draw and 7 defeats. Now, this one isn't a good stat for Spurs. City have gone 30 years without defeat in their opening home league match in a top-flight season. They have won 16 and drawn 8 since losing to Southampton in 1989. So, head-to-head, Manchester City v Tottenham. The teams have actually met 159 times throughout the history of the clubs. Manchester City have come out winners 63 times. Tottenham have won 61, and the game has finished a draw on 35 occasions. Now, we know what such quality Manchester City have through their side, but Gabriel Jesus is certainly a player to watch. He has scored 13 goals and provided 5 assists in the last 10 starts for Manchester City in all competitions, so one to watch out for. Manchester City have won the last 4 games against Tottenham in the Premier League. The last time Tottenham beat Manchester City in the Premier League was at White Hart Lane on the 2nd of October 16. That was a 2-0 win, and that was Pep Guardiola's first season in charge at Manchester City as well. Another one to watch out for is, of course, Raheem Sterling. He has scored 4 goals in his last 3 home games against Spurs in all competitions. But then again, he did have one disallowed, didn't he? Another one to look out for is, of course, Sergio Aguero. However, he has failed to score in each of his last 7 Premier League games against Tottenham, but he did score 10 goals against Tottenham in his first 7 league games against us. Now, I'm hoping that Alexander Zinchenko is not playing today, or certainly starting, because every time he has played for Manchester City have won. He's got an excellent record. He has won all 23 games in all 23 appearances, and he has actually set or equalled a record with David Silva 2 years ago. Tottenham really do need an away win today. We've actually lost our last 6 Premier League games away from home. If we did lose today, we would equal a record that was set by Tottenham from August to December 2000, and that was under George Graham, where we lost 7 consecutive away games. So if Tottenham are going to be challenging for the top 4 again, or indeed the Premier League title, as a lot of pundits have been saying in the past few weeks, quite a few people fancy Spurs to be challenging up there with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. Well, this stat doesn't lie. Last season, we actually only got 7 points against the other established top 6 sides. So we really do need to put that right. And 3 points today would really help, wouldn't it? Now, last season, in the 2018-2019 season, Tottenham didn't draw a single game away from home in the Premier League. It was the first time that a top-flight team did that since the 1980-1981 season, and that was Norwich City. So a little stat here on Pep Guardiola and Mauricio Pochettino. Now, Pochettino was the first manager to win away from home against Pep Guardiola in a league game, and that was doing so in February 2009, so that's 10 years ago, and that was with Espanyol against Barcelona. Now, do you remember everyone was going on about Harry Kane not scoring in August? Now, Harry Kane has scored 4 goals in his past 3 Premier League games in August. Come on, Harry, you can do it today. So, other games in the Premier League today. 12:30 kickoff is Arsenal v Burnley. Let's hope that Burnley get the win there. Aston Villa v Bournemouth. I'm going to go for a draw. Brighton v West Ham. Let's go for a Brighton home win. Everton v Watford. I've just got. I can just see a draw all over that. Norwich City v Newcastle. I can see that being a draw as well. Southampton v Liverpool. I can see Liverpool being very strong, winning that game comfortably. And Manchester City v Tottenham. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Let me know in the comments section below what your score predictions are for today's Premier League games. So what do the bookies think of this match, Manchester City v Tottenham? Now, William Hill here, they are really fancying a Manchester City win. You'll get 7-1 on a 1-0 Man City, a 6-1 on a 2-0 Man City, 7-1 on a 2-1 Man City, 7-1 on a 3-0 Man City, and even 8-1 on a 3-1 Man City. Now, Tottenham odds to win the match, 1-0, 12-1, 2-0, 40-1, 2-1 is 20-1, 3-0 to Tottenham is 100-1, and 3-1 is 80-1. So William Hill really do fancy Manchester City to win the match. Now, they've got some good combination bets on here. What should we say? Lucas Moura, he loves a big game, doesn't he? Lucas Moura, Tottenham to win 1-0, 105-1. That wouldn't be a bad bet, would it? Harry Kane, Tottenham to win 1-0, 65-1. Yeah, I fancy that. Coral here, they are pretty much the same. A Manchester City win, 7-1 for Man City to win 1-0, 5-1. So they obviously really fancy Manchester City to win 2-0, 5-1. Low odds again, 2-1, 3-0, 3-1. Tottenham odds 11-1 on a 1-0 Spurs win, 40-1 on a 2-0 Spurs win, 25-1 on a 2-1 Spurs win. But yeah, do check those out and other betting companies as well. Let me know in the comments section below what your thoughts are, what your prediction is, what your predicted lineup. Let's just do this. Let's just do it. Come on, you Spurs.